Okay guys, now we go on to reading passage 2 and we have list of headings. By the way, you can see they have given one example heading. Which heading is that? Paragraph B and heading number 10. Now please cross heading number 10 here and also put a little cross at paragraph B. राइट अदरवाइज पूरा पैराग्राफ पढ़ के हेडिंग ढूंढ के फिर कहेंगे लगानी कहाँ पे है जहाँ लगा अच्छा ये तो पहले ही हुआ हुआ है दैट विल वेस्ट योर टाइम सो यू शुड एक्चुअली वर्क इन अ वेरी स्मार्ट वे राइट नाउ लेट्स सी हाउ टू डू लिस्ट ऑफ हेडिंग्स in list of headings they will give you some headings and these headings are basically information which is given in the passage. Now it's not always like that one heading is more like full heading of the paragraph. Sometimes they pick up one sentence from the paragraph and you have to use appropriate heading. Now how to do it? First of all, you guys will skim read the whole list of headings. Skim read. And as you read, your imagination is very important. Before you do anything, you have to read the title of the passage. What is that? Air traffic control in the USA. Right? Air traffic control. Now what is air traffic control? You know, they have certain devices where they control the aeroplanes and all that. Control tower. You might have seen control tower and there they control air traffic. So we've got a passage about air traffic control and only about USA. Right? Now just imagine control tower, aeroplanes, they receive the signals and all that. Now, we come to the questions here. List of headings. Heading number 1, disobeying FAA regulations. Now, we don't know what is FAA, but just underline disobeying and regulations. Right? Disobey means they don't follow, violate. Heading number 2, aviation disaster prompts action. Now, in one paragraph, they will tell us aeroplane crash. Aviation disaster what? Plane crash. And then after plane crash, they took immediate action. So something that happened after a plane crash, this heading will go there. Okay? Heading number 3, two coincidental developments. Now they will talk about two things which were developed, right? And at the same time, and that was coincident. Coincidence means like by chance this happened. Like you go to a market and you meet your old friend, say, what a coincidence, right? So it's that. Heading number 4, setting altitude zones. Altitude means height, right? 500 meters, 1000 meter, 10,000 meter. So setting altitude zones means from ground level to 5,000 meters is zone 1. From 5,000 to 10,000, zone 2, zone 3, zone 4, like that. Heading number 5, oversimplified view. Somewhere they will talk about, they will give a view which is very, very simple. Now they will say, people think it's a very complex procedure, but in fact it's very, very simple that we do this and that's it. Right? I mean, their action is going to be something like they're expressing something which is very, very simple and easy. They might say, people think it's a complex procedure, but in fact, it's very simple. Right? Next, controlling pilots' licenses. Yeah, like once they controlled pilots' licenses here. So how to control? They will talk about pilot, their license and all that. Heading number 7. Defining airspace categories. Very simple. For categories, they can use the word class A, class B, class C, or category A, category B, category C, or any other thing like that. Heading number 8. Setting rules to weather conditions. Very simple. For weather condition, when they talk about airline, they will talk about rain. They will talk about storm. Important thing, they will talk about fog. They will talk about visibility. For aeroplanes, you know, sometimes because of visibility, airline cannot land in Lahore, then they send it to Karachi or Islamabad and all that. So they will talk about, I mean, now if your guys are thinking about Jahaj, yeah, not the Jahaz you see on canal roads, you have to think about aeroplanes, airport and everything, then you will understand all these things, yeah? Okay, let's go on. Taking off safely, very simple. What is taking off? Yeah, Udan Bharna. Taking off safely, they'll talk about a safe takeoff of the aeroplane. And heading number 10, do we need to read? No, it's already used. Okay, now you will keep these headings somehow in your mind. And now please come to paragraph A. An accident that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon in 1956 resulted in the establishment of the Federal Aviation Administration. Very simple. Accident that occurred in the skies. Heading number? Exactly. Well done. Accident that occurred in the skies over the Grand Canyon. Heading number 2. And that is aviation disaster prompts action. Now what is action? In the establishment of Federal Aviation Administration. So that is the action. Now heading number 2 we have used. Please cross it from there. Is this clear? Now sometimes list of headings will be as simple like this. Always remember 3 points are important in the paragraph. Number 1, the first line. Number 2, somewhere the middle line. Not exactly middle, a little above or a little below. And if you don't find the clue there, then the last line. So these 3 parts are important. Now please come to paragraph B. B we don't do because B is already done. Yeah. Paragraph C. In the 1940s, ATC centers, now ATC, they mentioned already about ATC centers, could and did take advantage of the newly developed radar and improved radio communication brought about by the Second World War. Okay, they're talking about new development radar and improved radio communication brought about. 2 things, new developed radar and improved radio communication brought about by the Second World War. So, 2 things happened coincidentally. What are they? New developed radar and second, improved radio communication. So, which heading? Heading number 3, absolutely. Heading number 3 is 2 coincidental developments. And those developments are, what is development number 1? Newly developed radar. Development number 2? Improved radio communication. Is this clear? Alright, let's go on. Paragraph D. Many people think, and if the paragraph is short, skim read all the paragraph. If it is long, like paragraph G is very long one, in that case you can read the first few lines. Paragraph D. Many people think that ATC consists of a row of controllers sitting in front of their radar screens at the nation's airports telling arriving and departing traffic what to do. This is very incomplete part of the picture. Means it is not as complicated as people think. Yeah, FFA realized that the airspace over the United States would at any time have many different kinds of planes flying for many different purposes in a variety of weather conditions, and the same kind of structure was needed. So many people think ATC means they think the process is very complicated, but in fact they said this is very incomplete part of the picture. Means it's actually not like that. So which option? An oversimplified view. Clear? They've given oversimplified view that this is what actually happens. So please cross heading number 5 as well. Right? So far, how many headings have we crossed? 2, 3, and 5. Okay, and 10 is already crossed. Now, please come to paragraph E. To meet this challenge, the following elements were put into effect. First, ATC extends over virtually the entire United States in general from 365 meters above. Now what is that? Altitude, 365, 215 and all that. Heading number? Setting altitude zones. You understand? Now if you know what you are reading, you will find the heading. And if you are reading 365 and this and that, you don't know that is altitude, you will never find it. So please cross heading number 4 as well. Altitude zone is actually from the ground level up to a certain height. That is what we call altitude zone. Right? One is 365, second is 215 meters above the ground. So these are their altitude zones. Please come to paragraph F. FAA then recognized two types of operating environments. In good meteorological conditions, what is meteorological conditions? Weather conditions. Flying would be permitted under visual flight rules. Weather conditions, visual flight rules. Yeah. Setting rules to weather conditions. Now see, weather conditions and meteorological conditions. So heading number 8. Exactly. Now we will cross heading number 8 as well. All good? Yeah. Now we have paragraph G, which is long, but don't worry. Controlled airspace is divided into several different types, designated by letters of the alphabet. Uncontrolled airspace is designated class F. See that? Then class A, class E, classification. Absolutely. Okay. So heading number 7 is defining airspace categories. Heading number 7 will go there. Now, if you don't know the categories and class A, class B, class C, you'll never be able to find that. Okay. All right.